What is up, y'all? It's your boy, Jake Ryan. Welcome to another XROADZ podcast. This is my 44th XROADZ podcast. I had a few other podcasts, trials I've done in the past, but starting to find my groove with this, and I'm actually going to start trying some live podcasts. I'm going to use a little bit of Restream, try to connect onto Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so that I can connect with the audience better. Hopefully, get some chats going on, and let the good times roll. So we'll see how the live stuff goes. My son loves the live stuff. He likes to do live gaming, so we're gonna try to get better with the live gaming on our Soulfire Gaming channel. We do the Soulfire Family channel. And I got Soulfire Beats, so I'm going to do some live streaming beat production. And yeah, dude, I even do Soulfire Tunes, Soulfire cartoons, and graphics. So if you need any of that stuff, audio, video production, graphic design, hit me up. So and this XROADZ podcast is my new thing. XROADZ is a new brand I've been working on. It's actually a registered nonprofit social enterprise. So I'll be working on developing it for the rest of my life, really. But for the next few years, really be in development because we have goals of getting a community center, an indoor skate park, and like a music festival. So I do XROADZ Music. It's what I've been kind of rebranding all my stuff under. But anyways, it's I have a lot of different projects that I've done in the past. A lot of different kind of alter egos I'd create or characters, and but through the years, all the changes I've gone through, probably one of the biggest changes I've been working on now is sobriety, and my mental health and my physical health, and alcoholism was a big issue for me, and it runs in the family. And just addiction in general. I have an addictive personality. I was addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, and other drugs. Just addicted to the party. And I never wanted to be like that. Before I was addicted to, skateboarding and just working, making money, and addicted to making music. So I'd have more, healthy habits. And so that's what I'm working on developing now. It's been over 6 months, no alcohol or drugs. I still have had a little bit of cannabis. And I actually have recently spoke to the doc about trying a prescription medication to help with just really a type of bipolar and just depression, anxiety. And going to try the whole seeing a counselor thing. Before I was like, no way, dude. I'm a rebel, man. Punk rock. No authority, man. I won't listen to no teacher, no preacher, no doctor, nobody. Not even my mom or dad. But yeah, when you're just a rebel like that, you don't want to listen to no authority and self-medicate, and just now getting older, raising my kids and having to self-reflect my own like character defects, maybe the things that I've developed or could have potentially inherited through genetics or just bloodlines and traits that could potentially be passed through family. And just taking a look at my history and my family's history and examining kind of who I am. So I was again at a soul searching place, and that's again why XROADZ has been a name that's always stuck with me with some significance, because I've always found myself at a crossroads in life all the time of like, should I make this choice? Should I make that choice? and what do I really want? What am I willing to, sacrifice? What am I not willing to sacrifice? What in many terms of like sacrifice time, energy, um, and that's all you really got at the end of the day. You know, um, your time and energy, time that you share with your family, or time that you're working, or time that you're spending partying, or and when the partying is where it becomes like, yo, you're having a good time and it's social, you're coming up in this world, and then the party also turns into just partying by yourself in isolation, and your best friends become the bottle and your own personal angels and demons, and you find yourself eventually at some sort of divine intervention. So at least that's what I kind of find in my life, with the close calls, near-death experiences, and like type of overdose type stuff. Just so grateful to even be alive and have everything I have, and the ability to, function, and have a family, and be able to, I guess, recover in many ways, because still have a lot of work to do forever. So I'm going to try some new things with reaching out and connecting more with people, because I've been so isolated in the past few years, ever since COVID for sure. But I was even self-isolating before that. I've always been that type of way, really, kind of just lone wolf, do my own thing. And I love having bands and networks and stuff, but I'd always still just create music on my own and create art all by myself, because really at the end of the day, I feel like the only people we can really rely on is ourselves, and that's kind of where the independence comes into play. But you know codependence and depending on other people, and other people depending on you, having that symbiosis and synergy, especially with a family, you have to have it. And that's what matters the most to me, is successful family and happiness, peace, love, and prosperity. But I was so lost in the anger and all the bad feelings, you know anger and, like, I don't know, guilt, remorse, um just all those types of bad feelings, just depression and regrets, or just sadness and worry, living in denial. I was definitely living in denial about being an addict for a long time, and just denial about a lot of things, like quite delusional in ways too, which obviously fueled my fire. It still does. It's something that's kind of like I live with, like it's like mania, and that's why the bipolar mania. I'd have like manic episodes for sure, where it's like, and the reason I'm even opening up to you all is because I feel like it's really important that the audience understands kind of where I come from and who I am and what I might go through, because I feel like other people go through it too. And it all goes into my art, whether it's like writing or poetry or books, or um, music and words, lyrics, or just the graphic art, the visual stuff, the videos, the paintings, drawings, other stuff, even just the act of being, vibing. you know, um, that in itself is like the key to enlightenment or something. It's like, it doesn't always have to be what you're doing that defines who you are, or maybe it's what you're not doing. I don't know. But I like to get kind of like philosophical and psychedelic with these thoughts. But basically, what I was saying with the manic episodes, it would basically, I would spike sometimes between, being like feeling super happy and like in tune with like God, and feeling like, oh, I'm like sent with a purpose and a destiny on this planet, and there's a reason I'm alive, and I'm God's special child, and we're all children of God too. Then I would crash into, no, you're worthless, you don't deserve to live, and the devil's coming for your soul type of crashes. And then kind of slowly ramp back up, and then crash. So, and this, I mean, of course, people are like, it all stems from childhood and just growing up, and I think that's all comes in the purpose of life, our childhood, teenage years, young adult years, and who we become, and then how we change and grow and develop. And, analyze these things if we can wake up or whatever to maybe some of our own faults or our like default programming that we run off sometimes. And, I'll find myself reacting or overreacting over and over, same old episodes. And then I would think to myself, okay, if I can just react properly and I won't go through this scenario again, and it'll be like a video game where it's like, oh, I passed it. I finally passed the mission. I can move on to the next one. Cleared that gate. And, I look at life like that sometimes, like a game of controlling your emotions and controlling your mind. And, if we were in the Matrix, it's all a head game then. It's all in your head. And you can easily sometimes switch your ways of looking at things. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes you really have to force yourself to think harder or look at things from another person's perspective or put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And I guess that's all I can do now is I can understand others more. Like I was thinking the other day about, like when people might post on their social media and be like, yo, can I get a cigarette? I used to see that. People will be like, yo, anybody got a cigarette I can bum? And people will be like, yo, yeah. And they'd probably show up and give them a cigarette. And, I remember when there was times in my life when almost that's all I would look forward to was my next hit or my next drink. And that, when I look back on it now, because I have so much more to like look forward to and to, to work on and stuff, that I felt bad for myself. I felt kind of sad. I felt kind of like, man, what were you thinking? Or whatever. But then I can also understand there's so many other people going through those same situations with those same thoughts and feelings out there in the world. So, knowing that, it gives me just so much more relatability to more types of people, which is all I want to be able to do, whether, it be the rich or the poor or different cultures and different races. I want to be able to understand more. And that's, I guess, why I would look into all the different religions and cultures and their beliefs on God or humans, where we came from, our origins. I was also always searching for that, the source of all creation and what the truth was. And you could go down some conspiracy theory rabbit holes, and definitely could be dark and scary, or just very being like, when you start to feel like you're uncovering these truths, you're like, what, no way, I knew it all along, man, I had a feeling. Or you'd be like, I gotta tell other people, I gotta wake everybody else up. It's my purpose, it's my mission. I gotta activate others and like spread the love and spread the light. Light workers unite, or whatever, Yeah, I'd get into like New Age movements, but I was also raised in like the Catholic and Christian upbringing and churches, and then I'd also see like psychic people and Reiki healers, and my Native American family would have like the shaman and medicine men. I was like attracted to that world of, the spirit world. And, I was just into all these different cultures, Egyptian, Greek mythologies, Sumerian, Aztec. And, you start to just study it all. And then then I'd get into the drugs. So being like, okay, being like a street shaman, like an urban shaman, where I'm like, I'm already dealing with crazy thoughts of, feeling after near-death experiences and thinking like about karma and reincarnation and feeling like I've been reincarnated over and over and over and I'm still trying to get it right, and that maybe I finally need to get off the drugs. But again, I'm still just, eating mushrooms and psychedelics and booze and stuff like that to, in my mind, go out of body and communicate with spirit realms and entities in different dimensions and, using DMT and stuff to contact the supernatural forces and heal. But, I was never really, like, properly trained on this, though. I just felt a calling into it, and it kind of, it just starts to kind of drive you crazy sometimes, when you're dealing with these, wrestling your own demons is what it is, in a way, and that's what I would imagine any sort of ayahuasca ceremony or anything to be, is like, wrestling your own demons, or wrestling, that even goes back to the Bible and Jacob. My name is Jacob, and that was the story of Jacob, he wrestled a divine being until he was blessed with a miracle, and then, God was like, now you're a man of God, and you'll change your name to Israel. And so I even, during one of my manic episodes, was like, I'm changing my name, and I was going to change my name. I was like, dude, Jake Ryan. No, I'm not Jake Ryan anymore. I'm somebody else. Or I was like, I was really going through it. I literally felt like at times in my life, like God and the devil were all like wrestling inside of me, and all my angels and demons were just battling it out within me, and I was just, reality was not good. It's what I would see around me or think, just even when COVID hit, and you're like, it's the apocalypse. Everybody's fighting about black and white and wrong and right and vaccinated, unvaccinated, who's got a mask on, who doesn't, and Biden or Trump or whatever, and bunch of chaos in a box, really. But just all that just kind of hit me, and it just, all them thoughts and feelings were just like, boom. I had just had like a nervous breakdown, a mental meltdown, and like live on Facebook at times, where I was like, I felt like completely out of control. I felt like couldn't even stop myself or control my body at times. It'd be like just the rushes of adrenaline pumping through me, of like anger towards the world, and just the people that rule the world, and things that are out of our control, the evil things that they might do, the touchy subjects we're not allowed to speak about because of censorship, and just, me even being, going through my own personal stuff, just with my relationships in life as well, with friends and family and myself, and my role and responsibility in all of it, and how I ultimately, being a narcissist and a megalomaniac in a way that thinks like, oh yeah, all of my reality is, I've created this all at times. I would develop sort of a God complex at times, especially, you're eating a lot of acid. People think it might dissolve your ego, but it can really inflate it too. You start to feel like God or something. And, there's a big difference between feeling like one with the God or the universal energy or the chi, and feeling like you're better than everybody else or whatever. And so with this also, I've noticed, it'd be kind of like a messiah complex, savior complex, where it's like, I feel a need to save other people or awaken other people or help other people. And, it's just about going about it in the right way, where it's like, maybe I could be an inspiration, or my stories can motivate people, or you just put a smile on people's face. It doesn't literally have to be like, yo, I can give you the keys to heaven, or I can save your soul from eternal flames, because like I said, when I'd go through these manic episodes, it was like, I literally at times felt like I was Jesus come back. And, I still, I believe Christ within, and I do believe that all these things could be archetypes within the mind or just energies that we give names to or whatever. But I do believe there's a spirit behind a lot of things, and a lot of things that we do, or certain like parties or people. There's often kind of a spirit behind, whether it be a team or a corporation or a brand or a network of people. There's always a spirit behind it. There might be a spirit behind a tribe or an army, or just a cult, or a little crew of people, like a gang of people. There's a spirit behind it. Whatever that spirit may be, I don't know, but some are good and some are bad or whatever. I don't know. It's like some are more dark and some are more light, I guess you could say. Some are a little mix of both, but I have found that through all the people I've worked with, I love them all, really, and I appreciate them all, and I believe that everybody serves their purpose, and I look forward to all the people I work with in the future. Again, I probably just sound like I'm rambling. Another thing, I guess, kind of comes into play with the bipolar, so I am working on aligning my focus and keeping my train of thought and organizing things and scheduling. So that's my goals in the future, is to be able to schedule at least maybe one solo podcast a week, and then hopefully one with a guest or my friend as well. Because when I first started doing these, it was coming on hot, and a lot of people jumped on right away. And I had a lot of artists, and I even want to branch out more. I want to talk to more people, like skateboarders and other athletes, or just writers, artists. I think it's pretty easy nowadays with phones and Zoom, and it's just another way to connect. So I'm gonna keep on doing it, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So thanks for tuning in. I guess I just unlocked a whole can of worms, spilled my beans on my life. But I think this, like I was saying before, with the mental health and kind of living in denial for a long time of the things like my addictions, which actually I did know about, because I think to myself all the time. I wake up and I'm like, man, I remember when I was drinking, and I would wake up just, and then be like, I'm never gonna be drinking like that again. I gotta stop. I gotta slow down. And then I'd be like, ugh, I'm done. Maybe I'd even yak. And then, 5 o'clock comes around and you're like, actually, I feel better now. I need a drink. That'll really make me feel better. And then the vicious cycle just continues. And it's just like, it's crazy how it was so hard and I loved it so much. And now I can look back on it and I'm like, I do not want to do that. Like, it was not that great as I thought it was. And like I was saying before, I identified that way. Like, I started to identify with the booze. Like, oh, it's part of who I am. Space cowboy, rock star. Gotta have my booze, my bottle of Jack, and a cigarette, or a joint, or I'm the psychedelic guy. That's what I'm known for. That's what I guess I share with people. But I do think there's a lot to the psychedelics and the experience there. But I think that, just like anything, things need to be, regulated and used properly. And, I looking back, I also realized it was just a lot of escapism, to escape reality and to just numb the feelings. Of course, to create art and get inspiration and stuff like that. But man, I'll tell you, it wasn't. It's like when you get that creative flow going and you're channeling it and it's coming from somewhere else. Like, sometimes they call it like automatic writing or something, where they say, like, somebody be like, "Oh, spirit is writing through me." I felt that with writing, with music, with art, with anything. And that's kind of I guess it's like you want to tap in, you could tap into the Great Spirit and you could like channel, the good vibes, release the good, or you could release the evil, or just a little bit of both. And a good balance is what I'm trying to find. Basically, that's what I'm trying to find. And that's again why I was like, yo, Doc, I'm going to try talking to you because I don't ever try to talk to a doc. And just try to level me out and be like, look, got to be able to make sense of life nowadays in 2022, in my 30s. It really is a strange time. But, I'll probably be saying that forever in life. Life is strange. And I bet y'all are like, wow, this guy's really strange. He talks about some weird stuff. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. I ain't even gotten into it yet. So, yeah, with these solo ones, I don't even know what I'll be rambling about. I might just be talking nonsense. This is all just hogwash, malarkey, a bunch of hoobida habida hibida hoo. But yeah, I'm gonna try live soon, and make sure and tune in. Subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the like or dislike. I don't know if they even matter. I've heard they took the dislike button off, actually. And no, I still see it over there. And I would even dislike it myself because I dislike myself all the time. And that's what I'd be working on. I'm working on self-love. I'm working on self-love, so no self-hate. And just trying to take care and think real positive about things, because I was got down in a funk for a long good time, and I realized with having depression that this is like something I used to think I could just like cure it, right? And I guess that's what I was hoping for. I was like, I'm just gonna cure this magically with my mind. And yeah, I work on it and I'm developing, getting my mind better, but I think it's just always gonna be a battle forever. That's like, yo, it's just the eternal battle. Like, keep your chin up, keep your head high, and when bad things happen, you know, work through it and try to make something positive out of something negative if you can. Like, take a heartbreak and turn it into a great song, or the sad times and turn them into great art, or just remember the great memories. And so yeah, I guess I'm gonna work on reaching out to more people again, because it's been hard to get other people involved again and to reach out and connect after COVID. There's other people out there doing it and making it happen, but for me personally, again, just reconnecting with people. And I've had to be a little more, I guess, selective with who I get close to, because in the past I've gotten too close to people and got burned a lot, which I'm sure happens to a lot of people. But you just have to take care of home base. And again, with the savior complex, I think what I did a lot was I would often put others before myself too much, to the point where I wasn't taking care of myself, my family enough, or even my own brand and company as much as I would be promoting other people's, or working on building somebody else's dream and not my own. And I just have to stay true to what I believe in now, and ultimately not just what I believe. It comes into this, like, I believe I'm supposed to do something, and kind of something specific. When you feel like you have like a certain mission or destiny to accomplish, it ain't even about fame or clout or money or all that jazz. Like, that all like comes, I guess, because I'm like, dude, I'm fine with what we got. Of course, we want to be living it up, bees knees, like we can do anything we please. and we've got the trees to make it happen. By trees, I mean paper. And by paper, I mean money. Although we'll be getting in the digital era, Bitcoins and whatnot, so I'll be getting more into NFTs and metaverse. So stay tuned for some of my new projects with Space Cowboy, because I got some new radical stuff happening. But yeah, I'm not going to bore y'all. So if you made it this far, I congratulate you. Thank you for listening. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to try a live stream here next. And hopefully I can get some people in the comments and make sure my chat's working, because last time I didn't have my chat working. I got it all figured out, and that's what I've just been working on, dude. Like, I'm pretty tech savvy, and, you know, I'm pretty good with computers. But, dude, like, just getting this stuff to work right, like, to get audio connections and live feeds with cameras. Man, I wish I had a big old team that had my back and was like, dude, we're going to make this happen together. But that's fine. I'll do it all by myself. That's kind of what I'm getting used to. And it's not kind of the goal with things, too, in life is, hey, no matter what, you got to be fully operational by yourself. Self-sufficiency. I got big dreams, y'all. Today I was daydreaming about building a half pipe out in the woods when we get some land. It's going to be super rad. But, you know, one day we'll be building these skate parks, and I'm going to be getting everybody involved. Once we get the community centers popping here in the next year or so, it's going to be lit. And yeah, I am stoked. So, again, thank you for tuning in. I'm working on all the socials, on the Instagram and all that jazz. YouTube, like I said, we are now on like Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and working on just getting us out there all over the place. I want to get some rad guests. I've been working mainly with a bunch of independent underground artists, and I want to maybe start to reach out to the little higher-ups. But it ain't even about that so much for me. Really, it's just about having some cool conversations. And it doesn't really matter to me if people are, like, famous or not. But, of course, if I get the chance to talk to Jennifer Lopez, you know I'm taking it. All right? Jason Momoa, yeah, buddy. Anyways, I got some cool people in mind, and I will probably be reaching out to some different people for like sponsorship stuff, because I have some cool stuff in mind, and there's a lot of different sites and companies that I do like, and that I use regularly. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you need some artwork done, hit me up. I do custom creations, audio production, video production, graphic design. And also, if you're interested in being on the podcast sometime, I've just been doing Zoom chats with folks and then uploading them after the chat. So yeah, hit me up for that if you're an artist that has some new works to promote, and or you just got a story to tell, you just want to chop it up. Hit me up and let me know. I'm going to be working on scheduling a little better. So, yeah, thanks again. In the future, I was going to focus on getting back out there in the world and touring, but really right now, I'm like, dude, I got to get my setup all perfect in the studio so I can just live stream concerts from my house all the time. And so, yeah, stay tuned for those. Not just live stream concerts and little shows, but other things like freestyles and just, making up music on the spot and stuff like that. It's really fun. I want to do some, like, infinite freestyles. People could just, like, pop in different words. I'll even do a little goodbye freestyle. Goodbye, goodbye, another podcast, number 44. How many more? I don't even know, yeah, where things could go. I'm on down the road at the Crossroads, at the Crossroads Podcast. at the XROADZ Podcast. At the XROADZ Podcast, yeah. I'm on the XROADZ Podcast, yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the XROADZ Podcast, and I will catch you next time. Take care.